Hello ladies and gents, this is KANO from the gamer section back with another review. For today's review is on Alan Wake 2 for the Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4 and 5, and PC. In Alan Wake 2 you play as two different people, Saga Anderson, who is an FBI agent with a reputation for solving unsolvable cases that ends up in Bright Falls to solve the string of ritualistic murders. You also play as Alan Wake, who disappeared 10 years after the first game. Then he returns and writes a dark story that ends up becoming a reality. Alan Wake struggles with his mental, and his end goal is to actually battle his demons and move on with the past. It's a lot to say about the presentation with Alan Wake 2. Graphically, this has to be one of the best looking games this year. The way the character models they put together is spot on, from the way that Saga looks from the head to the toe with her, along with the face expressions from Alan Wake is spot on. The vegetation is very detailed, along with the reflections of the water is dang near realistic. When it comes to the dialogue, they did a great job on how well presented the voiceover is, along with how great the sound quality is when it comes to the enemies as well. The music audio in the game is very spooky, so you will hear the horror aspects to the game. The difference between Alan Wake 1 and 2 is that Alan Wake 2 is more of a survival horror game, played more in a more third-person perspective. You can play as either Saga or Alan Wake himself, but in player choices in a way. You can fight enemies with the gun and flashlight, which is very easy. With the battery, it does tend to go down when you fight against enemies in the game. You are able to dodge against enemies very easily. In Alan Wake 2, this game puts more into a detective vibe when playing as Saga, because when you pause the game, you can go into a more mind place where you can put the pieces together in the cases. Upgrade your weapons, go through the torn pages, that can help a lot. Playing as Alan Wake is very simple at best, and it's very similar to Saga, where Alan finds the wordings to basically upgrade the character, weapons, etc. This game doesn't really have any flaws like that. The only one I can think of right off the top of the head is that this game doesn't give you that proper direction on where you need to go. When you are in the forest, for example, it just feels like this game has a weird way of putting puzzles in the game, which they did a bad job with the Alan Wake side of the puzzles, where you really have to figure it out, and they didn't explain the puzzling very well or the directions on where you need to go. This is not a bad game at all, though. Honestly, it's one of the best games that came out this year. For that, I give Alan Wake 2 a 5 out of 5. Thank you for tuning into the best place for independent gaming journalism, and that's the gamer section. Be sure to hit the like button on the video, and please subscribe to the channel.